Okay guys, so welcome to Mount Panorama. It's probably Australia's most famous racetrack. Everybody knows the Bathhurst 1000 they have here every year. So it is actually a public road. It only gets closed off for race days and events. Hang on, I'm gonna pull up a pole position, drop a burnout, and off we go. So it is actually 60 kilometre speed limit the whole way around the track for normal cars, and the police do love to sit here because everybody comes here and thinks they're a race car driver. Righto. Ding! Off we go from pole position. Let's go. Come on, bus. So when the race cars take off, usually by this corner they're doing about 140 k's an hour. Yeah, I would like to try it in this. It doesn't even go 140. If you keep your eye out around the track, you may see some kangaroos. Kangaroos love race cars. No, joking. There you go, there's heaps of them over there in the campground, to the left, sitting under the tree.
Where?
Oh, kangaroos. Look, there's one standing up looking at us.
Yeah.
So as I said, it's a public road, people do live here. When the Bathhurst 1000 is on, these whole paddocks and the paddocks that we drove past before are full of people. They have had around 120,000 people here at race day times. So up we go. Look, there's more kangaroos up near the fence line of that person's house on the left.
Not a puppy. Sure.
All kangaroos to the right. And up the mountain we go. This is where the race usually gets interesting. When you hit all the bends, everyone's trying to pass each other. Same as all the cars are pretty much evenly powered. They all go about the same speed. It's pretty hard to pass people on the straights. Most of the overtaking and passing gets done on these sections. It's also where most of the crashes happen. You can see as we're driving up, you look at the walls as we come around the corners, you'll see all the marks where they've been run into. Up through these corners they call the cutting, and across the top, if you look out to the left, you get a nice view of Bathhurst.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there's a kangaroo having a sleep. And across the top of the mountain. Again, this is where they try and do a lot of passing, overtaking. They're usually doing about 160 around through here. Across the top of the hill, and they come around the corner. There is a big sand trap because a lot of cars kind of come unstuck around this part. question. I shall have to Google it. I know in the coach at 60, or as quick as we can go around here, it usually takes us about 8.5 to 9 minutes. The cars do it in about 2 minutes and 4 seconds. And that is the commentary box. That's where the commentators sit, so they can look down pretty much over the whole track. Sorry, it's just beeping at the people waving at us. So they're usually coming very quick down through here. It's still doing about 140, 150 around through these corners. Don't try that in your Toyota Yaris. And probably the most famous corner, this one right at the bottom. Many a driver have come around here way too fast and just ploughed into the wall on the other side here. So they're usually on full throttle about here as they hit Conrod Street.
We're doing the same what we're doing now.
And away they go. When you're driving your normal car or a bus, this is where you watch your speed, because Mr. Policeman loves to hide just down the bottom here with his radar gun. He's not here today, but he's usually tucked in front of this house here, down in behind these concrete barriers.
15 is not very safe way to drive.
So as the cars come down here, they're going flat stick. Usually by the time they come underneath Conquer the Mountain here, they start backing off for the corner up here somewhere. They're doing about 300 k's an hour. Originally, you can see the big sand trap in front of us. Originally the track went straight ahead, but back in the late 80s, it wasn't the Bathhurst 1000 race, but on a different race, a driver was flying straight down here. When he got down and went to slow down, he had brake fade, lost his brakes, and he ploughed straight into the wall at about 220 kilometres an hour just before the turn into pit lane, and he died on the scene. Since then they decided to try and slow the cars down a bit before the last corner, so they put that big sand trap in. Now, if you'd like to come to the Bathhurst 1000 and not camp and stay in the Ridges Hotel over here, I have been told that if you book now, you might get a room for $20.29 and about $2,000 a night. And that little road off to the left just there, that's pit lane, so that's where they duck in when they go to refuel and change tyres and that kind of stuff. And that is Mount Panorama, folks. So I know it's hard to imagine, but yeah, the race cars do go around there in just over 2 minutes. So if you do like cars, for that I would recommend coming and going to the Motor Museum just back behind us there. They do have a lot of ex-Bathhurst cars, a lot of motorbikes. It's pretty interesting.